So I got sent this interview about 10 hours ago, and I actually have not read it or not responded to it. And it's an interview, or it's an article from Dan Wetzel, which apparently is like very, very, very much like on the money from what I've heard. From what I've heard, it's like very accurate to things that have happened. And also from what I've heard, like we're about to get into the Chelsea, or not Chelsea, Jesus, the Christine Brennan redemption arc, as in everything that Christine Brennan said apparently seems to be true. Like never wrong, just late or just early. Clark and her army of fans, the WNBA's most valuable business asset, obviously not the most valuable player, but business asset. Yeah, I'll give you that. Like the Fever are good without her. But yeah, there's no. If you're trying to argue a healthy Caitlin Clark's not a top 5 player in the league, you're just wrong. But like, if you're trying to argue a healthy Caitlin Clark's the best player in the league, you're also wrong. Clark's arrival on spring 2024 sent the league's television ratings, intense media rights, sponsorship, franchise evaluation soaring overnight. Overnight, billionaires are fighting to pay $250 million for teams of their own. Yeah, because before she was there, they weren't even fighting for $50 million. Clark got more than logo 3. She gave the league hope. WNBA's number one goal should be to take the massive base of fans who follow Clark from Iowa and turn them into fans of the entire league, not just a single player or team. Yeah, they kind of done the opposite. They have made Caitlin Clark fans not want to watch other teams. Like I mean this. I don't like. I'm gonna watch the finals because I like the sport of basketball and I want to report on it. But like, if this wasn't my job to talk about women's basketball, I would not be watching the WNBA finals. I wouldn't, just on principle. Because of the way they've treated not only Caitlin, because of the way they've treated Caitlin, other players on the Fever, because of the way the Bonner situation, the way every single fan of that team is painted as a racist. I just wouldn't. But it says here, it doesn't matter how or why new customers arrive, everything should be about seizing the opportunity to make them regulars. WNBA got handed a winning lottery ticket not seen in sports since Tiger Woods arrived at the PGA Tour. The league should stop trying to light it on fire. The latest evidence of self-sabotage comes in conversation between the commissioner and Minnesota's V. Collier. Specific topic is rookie contracts, which at around $75,000 per year undervalue Clark and other young talents such as Reese and Paige Bueckers, who brought in smaller but still valuable fan bases. There's no question about it that they're two of the most popular players in the league as well. Like, I think the thing with Angel Reese is that Angel Reese is like an A-list celebrity. Like, her fans don't really watch her play basketball, but they will watch her podcast. They will watch all these other things. And even if a few of them come to watch her play basketball, that's still fans. It's still fans. And Angel Reese being an A-list celebrity is absolutely an asset for the league. But I asked how Engelbert planned to fix that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige were clearly driving mass revenue for the league and making so little their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $60 million off the court, because without the platform WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. She was offered like $10 million. However, $15 million by the big three to not play, and apparently with all the NIL deals for just playing, not including brand deals, apparently it was close to 10 to not play in the league. And then she could add more brand deals. Like, of all the options Caitlin Clark had, the option that made her the least money last year was playing in the WNBA. But yeah, so it says here, Collier later added that Engelbert told her players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars and media rights deal they got them. Yeah, that sentence alone, fire her. Collier relayed the conversation as part of a screed against Engelbert over the quality of officiating. League finds to silence criticism and all their issues, all valid points, especially heading into negotiations for a new labour deal. Yet a rant about officiating, no matter how ruthlessly delivered, is pretty common, entertaining, yes, but it would fade. Collier is very smart. The Clark comments she attributed to Engelbert have been a purposeful grenade. Clark fans were already wary of the reception she's receiving in WNBA, and they have for good reason. Hardfell snide comments, dismissive media commentary. This is on ESPN. What are we doing? It's not even Clark. It's Clark adjacent. This is on ESPN. This is on ESPN.com. Let's not forget ESPN's WNBA countdown. They spent the half of the pregame, or not even pregame, half of the halftime for the Mercury and Lynx game, which was a great game. Like, the Mercury had pulled it back. They spent half of the halftime saying the referees were the only reason Indiana Fever won. But then yesterday, when the referees made literally, there's a 5-minute compilation of the referees making some of the worst calls you will ever see in playoff basketball against the Indiana Fever, and it's crickets. But The Olympics, some of this can be brushed off as reality of competitive sports, and no one is owed a walkway of flowers. Some of it, though, is likely based on politics, pride, or jealousy, or rivalry, or fill in the blanks. At times, everything about Clark seems like a circus of contention. I stand by this. Nobody expected players not to play hard against Caitlin Clark. Like, nobody, when she was being full court pressed and double teamed and triple teamed, and that's something. But when she's allowed to be hand checked the entire way down the league, but another guard isn't, another guard it's a foul. Any other guard it's a foul. When the referees were allowing players to be more physical with Caitlin Clark than any other player, and then Caitlin Clark bulked up to deal with physicality, and she got hurt. Now even Gino Auriemma is complaining about the brand of basketball. Like, Caitlin Clark was the breath of fresh air in an overall bad brand of basketball. And as much as I fucking hate to say this, I don't actually think the Phoenix Mercury play that bad a brand of basketball when they get outrun. I don't think they play that bad a brand. But there's no attractive brand of basketball in the league other than Caitlin Clark. Like, that's just the reality of it all. But while Clark herself has never complained, many of her fans perceive and perception quickly becomes reality that Clark isn't fully welcome in the league. She's absolutely not. Like, it's not perception becomes reality. She's absolutely not. Like, the Indiana Fever, the other teams hate the Fever. And by the way, I don't think they hate them in a way that, like, a free agent isn't going to play for Indiana because they think something's wrong with Indiana. They just hate this team. They hate it. And the Indiana Fever use the hate to fuel them. Like, the Fever are close-knit with each other. They're not. Like, they're, as far as teams are concerned, so, yeah, you'll see them, embrace other teams' players, but they are the least buddy-buddy with other teams in the league. Like, it's not just Caitlin, because with Caitlin out, the media has gone at Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, Bree Turner. They've all been attacked. Natasha Howard. They've all been attacked by the Fever haters, and they have absolutely used that as a reason to get to where they are. Stephanie White as well, and absolutely these players, especially now that they're doing well and it's clear that they're friends with Caitlin Clark. Whereas in Caitlin's rookie year, a lot of the time these players were being pushed in anti-Caitlin narratives, being like, these people are better without Caitlin. Oh, look at what Caitlin's done to these players. But now it's at the stage where it's clear that this is a team that's really close together. This is a team that loves Caitlin Clark. It's a team that Caitlin Clark fucking loves. It's a team that's going to be a contender next year. And we're almost a contender with hardship players. Just because of the power of friendship. That it's clear that, not that these players aren't welcome in the league or anything, but I would say that these players, when they go, they're treated so much better with fans in person. They're celebrities now, and they're probably not treated the same amongst their WNBA peers because they've joined the Fever. And I have a feeling that's a big reason why DeWanna Bonner didn't stay with the Fever. I think that, during the whole investigation thing, during the whole investigation bullshit at the start of the year, and every single team was just constantly talking about how dangerous Indiana was, and I don't know, maybe, these people, one of those people being Alyssa Thomas, obviously, and then suddenly it's, oh, why are you there? Why are you playing for that team? Why are you playing for that team? And suddenly she's gone, like, even though Fever fans are the best, or not Fox fans are the best, but Fever fans are the next best. It says here Clark isn't full well. In turn, neither are they. Having WNBA commissioner say Clark should be grateful because without the league she wouldn't make it. She wouldn't make anything, just confirms suspicion. Also plays the old trope that women's athletes should be thankful for just getting a chance to play. Is this 1972? The whole thing's ridiculous, or worse. Clark is doing national endorsement campaigns while still in college. By her junior season, she's more popular than any WNBA player. She arrived rich. Maybe Engelbert wasn't aware that the commissioner would have an opinion on who should be grateful to whom, let alone should be unprofessionally expressed to another active player, is almost unfathomable. It's not Clark who should thank WNBA for her endorsements. The league should thank her for the boom of business. It should count its blessings that she and the other young charismatic stars are gracing his league. Obviously, she didn't even deny it. She said, I'm disheartened. That the absolute worst thing that could happen for the business of women's basketball is for all the new fans to think the league not only doesn't appreciate their favourite player, but is openly hostile and condescending to them. That's precisely how you don't grow a sport. They might tune in for Caitlin games or Angel or Paige games, but they now have motivation to purposely not support, watch, or care about anyone else. The WNBA suddenly isn't a business that covets them as lifelong customers. That is a fact. That is an absolute fact. And the thing is where it's like, They're openly hostile towards Caitlin, but it's not even that. You have literal WNBA owners be hostile towards the new fans that have called out, that have been hostile, have basically said, leave. We don't want you. Like, that have basically come out and said, we don't want you. Which is, look, that's not good. That's not good. Like, if you are fans and you're being told everything, we don't want you, get rid of them, get rid of you guys, then all that means is that they're going to be fans of the Fever and not the league. Like, fans probably are buying the Fever pass instead of league pass. Fans are showing up to only Indiana Fever games and not other teams' games. It is, and actively making a point, because I mean this, that ironically, the league hates Caitlin Clark has probably meant that there are people that, out of just spite for the WNBA, and by the way, the whole league hating Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark fans, that has dragged in. Do you know the players that they don't really watch Caitlin Clark, but they only support Caitlin Clark out of spite for women's sports, because they don't actually like women's sports. They're using Caitlin Clark out of spite. They're using Caitlin Clark as some sort of anti-women's sports narrative to push that narrative. The WNBA is the reason why that narrative exists. Because of the WNBA, and there's a difference between, like, nobody expecting them to just roll over for Caitlin. But it's like, and nobody's even expecting them to treat Caitlin like they treat Paige, because Paige is not a threat, by the way. Paige is not good enough to be a threat to these players. Paige is real good. She's not good enough. She's not good enough to be a threat to the hierarchy of the WNBA. Like, Paige is, unless Paige gets a mentality switch, Paige is never going to be the number one on a great team. I think Paige is going to be a great number 2 or number 3, but a number 2 or number 3 doesn't ruffle up feathers. Whereas Caitlin Clark, the way she plays, everything, the way we look at WNBA basketball has changed since Caitlin Clark's come into the league. Caitlin Clark eradicated a position, by the way. These 6'8" giant bigs, slow-footed bigs, have been eradicated. They've been eradicated from the WNBA since Caitlin Clark's come in. Caitlin Clark had a 24.19 assist game on Tierra McCowan and Kalani Brown. And then she had 35 points later on in the year. Because of her way of manipulating the pick and roll. Aaliyah Boston is going to be the first of many hub centers. When Awafam comes in, she's a hub center. She's a passer. She can play that kind of point center role. When Sarah Strong comes in, she comes in. So what this 1-5 combo of Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston are going to do is, it's actually just everything they've said about WNBA basketball is being flipped on its head. It's going to be flipped on its head because of these players. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, the WNBA have screwed it. Kathy Engelbert has done I think Kathy Engelbert did an okay job initially of keeping the league afloat. I think Kathy Engelbert made a deal with the devil. Like, the only way the players are ever going to be able to get the revenue split they want is if the league finds some way of buying back the equity that they sold in 2022. Like, the league sold so much equity in 2022. Like, they literally sold, like, what was it? They sold 18% of the league or something. And they sold 18% of the league. And like 18% is a lot of the league. Especially when that 18% that they sold is the like percentage increase that the players are looking for. But it now no longer exists. So that revenue split is nearly impossible for players to get, because it's not just players and the owners. You got to split it, because if the players want to get that revenue split, you're going to have to take equity. You're going to have to take revenue from the private investors and the NBA, and I don't think they're going to budge. So yeah, it's Kathy Engelbert has done a horrible job since Caitlin's come in. And this is such an important point, that the worst thing they could do is make it so that fans of these players don't want to watch anyone else. And that is exactly what they've done. They have made fans of these players feel completely unwelcome, being like, the league's better without you. And by the way, that's not just an issue with the WNBA. It's an issue with TV networks and people they've hired, because they don't want to hurt people's feelings by getting rid of the people that were bad at their job. I'm not even gonna say bad at their job, but like bad at promoting the game, because They want the WNBA to go back to the way it was, so that in turn they have become bad at promoting the game. That's not all of them. It's not even close to being all of them. But at the same time, with that happening, so that's happening, and then we also have to look at the fact that you've got all these like journalists, like literally credentialed journalists writing, and they don't want to talk about sports. Some of them that are really frustrating are when they talk about basketball, they clearly know what they're talking about. But they don't want to. They want to make it something else. And you've got like you've got again the WNBA leaking Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year. You've got like Antonio Brown sharing leaked images of Caitlin Clark from a Snapchat hack on his Twitter, and is showing up courtside a week later at one of her games and being allowed to and not being kicked out. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. Like, I'm not going to explain what those leaked images are, but like explicit images of underage Caitlin Clark he posted on Twitter. Like, that is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But anyway, yeah, it's and then he was allowed courtside. This league's just failed. The league has failed Caitlin Clark. The league's failed new fans. And it's not just failed. I think the league's failed Angel Reese. I think the league, unpopular opinion, I think the league has failed Paige Bueckers in a, like, because they've treated her too well. Because, and by the way, as the second that these players felt a bit threatened by Angel Reese, it's not like, anytime these players feel a bit threatened or feel that Angel Reese is, going to be good enough, they'll switch up on Angel Reese too. But like when it came to Paige, Paige was the anti-Caitlin. So Paige was not being guarded the same. And we saw what happened when Paige was being guarded like Caitlin Clark. That she had like the 5-game spell where one of those 5 games she scored 44 points. Her points per game went down in a 5-game spell. But anyway, yeah, that is a video. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys.